Warlord Krexthar stood 8 feet tall, his chitinous exoskeleton gleaming with ceremonial battle scars. Behind him, the assembled war fleet of the hegemony stretched across space, 12,000 ships, representing the combined military might of 17 conquered civilizations. They had never known defeat. Pathetic little creatures, Krexthar rumbled, studying the readings from the Sol system. How many ships do they have? Approximately 400, Warlord, replied his tactical officer, Vexmore. Primitive fusion drives, kinetic weapons, and what appears to be chemical rockets. The bridge erupted in clicking laughter from the assembled hegemony officers. Chemical rockets. These humans were even more primitive than their intelligence had suggested. And they dare to refuse our ultimatum. Krexthar's mandibles clicked with amusement. They choose war over peaceful subjugation. The communication officer looked up from his console. Warlord, we're receiving another transmission from Earth. Put it through. I want to hear their surrender plea myself. The holographic display flickered to life, revealing a middle-aged human woman in a simple military uniform. She sat calmly at a desk, no fear visible in her expression. I am Admiral Sarah Chen of the Terran Defense Force, she began. You have demanded our surrender and subjugation. Our answer remains no. Krexthar leaned forward, his massive frame casting shadows across the display. Little human, you face the mightiest warfleet in galactic history. Your species will be extinct within a solar cycle. Admiral Chen's expression didn't change. Warlord Krexthar, before you commit to this course of action, I feel obligated to share something with you. Are you familiar with the concept of an extinction event? Spare me your scientific lectures, prey creature. 66 million years ago, Chen continued calmly, an asteroid 6 miles wide struck our planet. It ended the age of the dinosaurs creatures that had dominated Earth for over 160 million years, wiped out in an instant. Your point being? We survived it. Chen's voice remained steady, conversational. Not just that impact, but 7 major extinction events. Ice ages that lasted millions of years. Volcanic eruptions that blocked out our sun. Plague outbreaks that killed 90% of our population. Each time we adapted. Each time we survived. Each time we became harder to kill. Vexmore shifted uncomfortably at his station. Warlord, their defensive positions are. They appear to have weaponized several asteroids. Asteroids? Krexthar scoffed. What can rocks do against our armor? They're not throwing them, sir. They've hollowed them out, filled them with what our sensors suggest are fusion warheads. Hundreds of them positioned throughout their outer system. Admiral Chen smiled for the first time. Warlord, your species conquered others through superior technology and overwhelming force. You've never faced a species that evolved on a death world. Death world? Krexthar's laugh was harsh. I've seen your planet. Blue skies, liquid water, abundant life. It's a paradise. To us, maybe. But do you know what our paradise produces? Chen's voice took on an edge. We have creatures that hunt in packs and can run for days without rest. Predators with venom that can kill in minutes. Plants that can eat flesh. Weather systems that can level cities. Earthquakes, hurricanes, tsunamis, volcanic eruptions. Our planet has been trying to kill us for millions of years. The tactical displays around the bridge began flashing warnings. Vexmore looked up, his eyes wide. Warlord, we're detecting massive energy signatures throughout the Sol system. They're not just coming from the asteroids. What are you detecting? Krexthar demanded. The humans. They've weaponized their entire solar system. Their gas giants are surrounded by orbital mining platforms that are launching projectiles at significant fractions of light speed. Their asteroid belt has been turned into a minefield. Even their outer ice planets are moving. They're using them as kinetic weapons. Admiral Chen leaned back in her chair. You see, Warlord, when you've spent millions of years barely surviving on a world that constantly tries to eliminate you, you develop certain tendencies. We don't just adapt to our environment, we adapt our environment to serve us. The first impacts began hitting the outer ships of the hegemony fleet. What looked like simple asteroids exploded with the force of small stars, taking entire cruiser squadrons with them. Impossible! Krexthar roared. How did you accelerate asteroids to such velocities? Gravity slingshots around our gas giants, combined with fusion pulse drives. Basic orbital mechanics, really. Chen's tone remained infuriatingly calm. You focused on our military ships and missed the real threat. We don't just build weapons, we turn everything around us into a weapon. More explosions lit up the tactical display. The hegemony's mighty fleet was being systematically dismantled by rocks, ice, and debris, moving at impossible speeds. But your ships, Vexmore protested. We've been tracking them. Only 400 vessels. Oh, those aren't warships, Chen explained. Those are rescue and salvage vessels. They're here to pull survivors from your fleet and offer medical assistance. We don't like leaving people to die in space, even enemies. Krexthar stared at the human woman as his flagship shuddered under the impact of debris, moving at relativistic speeds. This is impossible. No species could weaponize an entire star system. Most species don't need to, Admiral Chen replied. Most species evolved on worlds that didn't spend every day for 4 billion years trying to kill them. Most species didn't develop their technology while living under constant threat of extinction. Most species. She paused, finally showing emotion a cold smile that sent chills through the hegemony officers. Most species aren't human. The bridge lights flickered as another impact struck their shields. Emergency klaxons wailed throughout the ship. Warlord Vexmore reported, his voice shaking. We've lost 60% of the fleet. The humans aren't even using their ships yet. This is all automated defense systems and converted civilian infrastructure. Krexthar looked at the human admiral, seeing her clearly for the first time. Not a prey animal, not a primitive creature to be conquered, but something far more dangerous, a product of a world so hostile that survival had required becoming the ultimate apex predator. What are you? He whispered. Admiral Chen's expression grew serious. We're the species that looked at a planet trying to kill us every day for millions of years and decided to make it our home anyway. We're the species that took extinction-level disasters and used them to grow stronger. We're the species that turned physics itself into a weapon. She leaned forward. Warlord Krexthar, you have two choices. Order your remaining ships to withdraw immediately, or continue this attack and discover exactly why nothing has managed to make humans extinct yet. The bridge fell silent, except for the alarms and the distant impacts of humanity's solar system-wide defense grid systematically destroying the greatest military force in galactic history. Krexthar looked at his tactical display, then at the calm human face on his screen. For the first time in his long military career, he felt something he had never experienced before. Fear. All ships, he commanded, his voice hoarse. Retreat. Full retreat. As the surviving hegemony vessels fled the Sol system, Admiral Chen's final transmission followed them. Next time, Warlord, perhaps research your target species before declaring war. You just challenged the only species in the galaxy that considers planetary extinction events to be character-building experiences. The communication ended, leaving the hegemony to contemplate a terrifying new reality. They had just discovered that they were no longer the apex predators of the galaxy. Humanity was.